today. Gav's Garden. Oh, there's plants and trees and lots of hay. Gav's Garden. Now you're lucky, so don't delay. Put on your boots, we're on our way. Now it's time for another adventure at Gav's Garden. Hey!
Hi, I'm Gav, and this is my garden. Today on the show, we'll have Madeleine with a movie review, Dr. Josh Groban with some health advice, and Paul will be giving us another one of his world-famous impressions. But first, let's talk about rocks. So here's a couple of rocks I've been collecting over the last few weeks. Here's a good one, and perfect for what I've got in mind today. You take your rock, you place it down like this. It's quite simple, really. Brilliant. So now let's pass over to our resident medical man, Dr. Josh Groban.
Thank you, Gavin. I'm here with Randy, and Randy's a regular viewer of the show. He wrote in to tell us about some allergy problems. Nice to meet you, Randy. What seems to be the trouble?
Well, the trouble is I don't know what I'm allergic to. The symptoms have just been getting worse and worse over the past few months. I've had build-up of phlegm, coughing, you name it, I've had it.
What about bowel-related symptoms?
Well, no, nothing down there really. I
Yes.
don't think so at
Yes,
all.
I think it's time we took your stool. So why don't you go off and pinch a couple of loaves, I'll sift my little fingers through them, and we'll see if we can sort out those allergy problems, eh? Here it comes. I've been waiting for this for hours. Thank you, Randy.
You're welcome.
It's exquisite. You've done a magnificent job in such a short time frame. Density, perfect. Looks ripe.
Does it tell you anything about my allergies?
Alrighty then. Now it's time for Paul, all the way from the United States. He's got an impression for us. Let's check it out.
Thanks again, Gav. This is Paul again for another impression. This week I like to do Daryl Hammond doing Sean Connery. This is the sound a doggy makes. Moo. Wrong. That's the sound your mother made last night. We would have accepted either Bow Wow or Ruff. Ruff, just the way your mother likes it, tobacco. Wonderful. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Paul. And now it's time for Madeleine with a review of one of her favourite movies.
Thanks, Gavin. Today's movie is one of the best ever made. The movie I'm talking about, of course, is Die Hard 2: Die Harder. The story of Die Harder is about Bruce Willis, playing Dr. John McClane, a man who loves planes so much he protects an airport from terrorists. But he does not appreciate helicopters as much as planes, because in one scene he shoots down a helicopter. I think it's to show respect to planes. He also crawls around in some pipes, and his wife's on a plane, but luckily not on one of the ones that was exploded. I hope. This movie gets 10 planes out of 10.
Thanks, Madeleine. And now it's time for my absolute favourite part of the show. That's right, it's Gav's Talent Search 1993. We send a camera crew into the house of a lucky home viewer and they perform their talent. Let's see what they've got to offer.
Hi Gav, my name's Clive, and my special talent is swords. There are many ways to kill a man with a sword, but the most interesting, I think, is if to kill a man in a cupboard. Goes something like this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's about all we've got time for. But we'll see you next week for another episode of Gav's Garden.